I'm not a service user, but I've been dealing with mental health issues most of my adult life as a carer, as a community development worker, as a community advocate in terms of representing people at tribunals to do all this welfare benefit stuff. And I could waffle on for that for 4 minutes, but I won't. I'll leave that story for now, just to say why I'm here, for 2 reasons. To talk about our group, a big table at the back. Thank you for coming all together. But actually, it's a message for all of you. Our table at the back is a group called the Manchester Mental Health Charter Alliance. Mental Health Charter. A few weeks ago, some of us went to the remembrance of Peterloo. Some of you know about Peterloo, the defiance and oppression of working class people demanding breads and demanding food for their family and being, you could call it a massacre, on the streets of Manchester. And that gave rise to something called Chartism, about the demands of basic standards, which culminate to our wonderful parliamentary democracy, which we've witnessed in the last few weeks. But there we go. Service users a few years ago in Manchester said we want some basic things. What's going to make a difference? Because things have been going wrong for so long. So they said really complicated, demanding things like we feel we want to be listened to. We want to be treated as whole people. We want to be treated with dignity. We feel a part of services. And we put forward, I was part of that conversation, but it was over 200 service users and carers in Manchester put forward these standards. And it was written into the contract of the Manchester New Trust that was being set up. And we've been on their backs ever since. And our present action is challenging them as best as we can. And it's not easy, and you'll know why it's not easy, about how to step people down. And it's a disgrace in our area, and it's a disgrace nationally. And it's a disgrace that the NHS is getting away with this on a massive scale, saying it's for therapeutic reasons when it isn't. But the reason I'm major here is not to talk about our group, because we've got other things that are in Manchester, we can do that. It's to talk to everyone here. I've put a few leaflets in our table, because I believe this is the first time to say this charter can be a benefit in other areas of the country. And in fact, I think it can complement the NSUN manifesto if you have a charter which puts forward simple standards. So I put the leaflet there, our contact details there. We'd be pleased to be in touch with anyone to say, can it make a difference? Can a charter which sets out some basic demands on how you should treat people with dignity and respect in practical ways make a difference? And I hope it can. So I hope that other areas of the country might say, we'd like to do that. And other areas of NSUN collectively, we would do that. It's a struggle for us. Let's be honest. We're not going to give up. We're going to persist and persist and persist. We're an awkward, bloody-minded bunch, all of us. Some more than others, all right? And we'll persist. But if we had allies across the country, and I mean that, allies who actually said, we feel we've not been listened to, we want to be listened to, we feel we want to influence services, and we had a collective voice, how much stronger it can be. What's happened in the last few years, peer support has been taken over by them. And all this recovery model, which I used to believe in. I believe in recovery. I think it's good if, I broke my wrist a few years ago, and I'm standing here, I've been eating my sandwiches, my wrist has suddenly recovered. But it's not the same how the trust, and I use this word across the NHS, have been. I learnt the word here 2 years ago, colonising our terms, colonising our language, using it for their own purposes. And we need to challenge that. So we'd be pleased to have a dialogue with any local groups. And I don't mind having days out in Cornwall or London or wherever else. I'm sure some of our group would too. But NSUN collectively to see if a charter can make a difference. This is our first day we've said this. And I would consider it a failure if this time next year I was speaking here and we've done nothing and made no progress. I hope that some people here can say, we think we'd like to find out more about it. Let's work together on this. Thank you very much.